I guess today he's not accusing me of trying to kill him, so.
Nope. Because we didn't do anything except drive today, so.
Yep. And I drove.
What was the first mountain driving?
Not as bad as I actually thought.
I can't wait to get to the area where there's no stoplights.
So good, so good, so good, so good. Hello and welcome to Chasing RV Sunshine. We are Joel, Deb, and Maya. We are a full-time RV couple who recently retired from law enforcement, downsized, and sold everything. We share our adventures as we learn about RV life and cover RV travels, finances, DIY RV projects, destination reviews, and other RV living details. We hope you join us as we document our adventures, chasing RV sunshine throughout the country and beyond. Hello and welcome to Chasing RV Sunshine. If this is your first time here, I'm Deb.
I'm Joel.
And Maya's in the RV. We just arrived at a wonderful Harvest Host. I guess we don't know if it's wonderful, but it looks like it. We're at a winery.
It's got good reviews.
And we're looking forward to spending the night here. We had just left Lake Mead. And today, he can't accuse me of trying to kill him. We didn't do anything involving heights.
No heights today. What a great day.
I did drive all the way here, and I think we've mentioned in our previous videos, our RV itself is a 2018 Tiffin Allegra Red. It's a diesel pusher and it's 35 feet long. But we do get a lot of questions as to if I drive and if I'm scared.
What was the first mountain driving?
Not as bad as I actually thought. It was actually a little bit easier than I thought. Joel pointed out, let the transmission do the work, and it really does help. But it was absolutely beautiful over there. I have driven in the past, and the first time I got to actually drive was between Livingston and College Station, Texas, and that didn't go as very well, but
it went just fine.
It did. But it was my first time driving while we were actually towing the vehicle as well, and it was a little overwhelming. And I got out up to the stoplight, and I started to think about everything that was in the RV, everything in my entire world, my life, and I started tearing up, and then I heard...
Are you crying? There's no crying in RV.
Right, so he snapped me out of it. I started laughing and said, no, I'm not crying. And we headed down the highway.
I can't wait to get to the area where there's no stoplights.
Fun driving in town, isn't it?
No.
But with driving or whatever, you have to be comfortable and you have to be assured of yourself in order to drive.
Well, how's the driving going?
Really nice. They said Texas highways are nice and smooth and wide lanes. This is pretty easy driving.
Maya seems a little concerned.
She's sleeping. Oh my gosh, how adorable. Yeah, she normally sits on my lap when Joel's driving, so I think that's what she wants.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. You got to be sure that you can drive the RV that you're driving.
Did you know statistically, actually men are worse drivers than women?
Well, that's probably true.
It is true statistically wise, but it's also true because men tend to drive more than women do on an average yearly basis.
Basically, since 1975, men have been involved in 3 times as many crashes as women.
But being a safe driver is very important. Both of us are retired law enforcement, and we've been to way too many crashes. And do you know how many crashes a year that RVers are involved in?
Around 76,000 crashes a year involving RVs. The good news is that's about 1/3 of the amount of crashes that cars are involved in, but that's still too many. We got to try to stop that.
And most of them are actually preventable. Joel, what are some of the causes that would be something that we all have in control of?
Some of the main causes are fatigue driver, being too tired to be driving down the road.
And we don't like to travel more than 3 to 4 hours at a time. There's been times that we have pushed it, but we don't like to do that. We like to limit ourselves to 3 or 4 hours of traveling today to prevent that fatigue.
Another contributing factor to RV crashes, distracted drivers, people using their cell phones and other devices. In the RV, as you all know, there's a lot of things to pay attention to driving down the road when you have a tire monitoring system, a GPS system, and things like that. but your main attraction needs to be the road.
Did you also know that one of the major causes for RVers is winds? We've talked about that in previous videos and use the app Windy to regulate when we're driving and pick the time of day. And if it's too windy, we do not drive.
We get asked a lot of what's the max wind we'll drive in. That's something only you can answer. You got to drive when you're comfortable. We try not to drive when it's over 20 miles an hour sustained winds.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. This thing's like a sail and takes off, and it's not fun.
Another contributing factor to RV crashes, just like in cars, driving under the influence. That's a big no-no.
And driving under the influence not only means alcohol, but it also means prescription drugs and illegal drugs as well. You need to pay attention, especially if you're an RVer. If you're on a certain prescription drug, that might affect your driving, and make sure that you're not driving well on those prescription meds.
Being impaired, as we all know, slows down your reaction time, and that's a bad thing in an RV because it's already a problem.
I know we've also mentioned this in other videos, but speeds are so important and we need to slow down and take our time.
Right.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
And we're not just talking about driving over the speed limit, we're talking about driving at a speed that you're comfortable with handling your rig. These are very big vehicles with slower stopping speeds, and we need to drive at a speed that we're comfortable in. That, for us, is around 60 to 65 miles an hour.
Some of the interstates, especially when we're in Texas and in obviously New Mexico, Arizona, and now Nevada, they have like 75 to 80 mile per hour speed limits. That's crazy. We're not going that fast. Slowing down and going 60 to 65 on the interstate is perfectly safe, and you have to go as fast or slow as you are comfortable with.
And every RV is different. They weigh different. They have different amount of axles. They have different steering. They may have different equipment. You may have something called the Safety T Plus steering bar. They might have different shocks and suspensions, so they all handle differently. You need to determine where you're comfortable driving. We all know if you're driving an RV at a certain speed, it just feels different. It feels a little more squirrely or whatever that you want to call it. You know when that is, stay below that speed and you'll be safe. Another contributing factor to crashes is weight. Problems with weight. Definitely do not want to be driving your rig overweight. And also you want to have balanced weight. Make sure it's balanced left to right and front to back. And a great thing to do is get your four corners weighed.
Oh wow, we did that. If you want to check out our video, I'll leave a link up here and in the description below. We got our RV weighed using the Escapee's Smart Weight, and so that's where we know our width, height, and weight of our vehicle and know that we have proper weight distribution throughout. Check that video out.
They even weighed the tow vehicle, so we know what that's at too. Yet another contributing factor to crashes is tires. You want to make sure you're driving on properly treaded tires, and that again, that your tire pressures are where you're supposed to be.
We do have a tire pressure monitoring system that alerts us on not only the RV but our tow vehicle as well if we have low inflated tires. High inflated tires and high temperatures in tires also are a warning. If this is happening, you need to proceed off to a safe spot, pull over, and check your tires right away. If you like the tire pressure monitoring system that we have, I will leave a link in the description below to our affiliate link for our tire pressure monitoring system. We would not travel anywhere without it.
Also remember that even though the treads on your tire might be good, it doesn't mean that they haven't aged out and you need to replace them due to their being too old.
It's always important to be prepared and to educate yourself on proper driving techniques of your own rig. We enjoy traveling in our RV and we highly recommend it. And I can say, if I can drive, any of you can too. It takes time, and you need to get yourself comfortable with driving your own rig. But you know what we're gonna do now? We're gonna go in and I
guess we're gonna go get some wine.
Yay! I'm so excited. How about we show you this wonderful Harvest Host we're at, and we'll be hitting the road tomorrow.
Don't be afraid to get out there and drive your rig and get comfortable with it, because that's the best thing you can do.
You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chase. I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air so late.
All right, Serenity. This is proprietary. It's 50% Riesling, 50% French Colomard. Now, French Colomard is more tart and acidic. Riesling, depending on where you get it from, is fruit forward.
Right.
So they have a nice balance. It's a very nice summer blend.
I'm just
Cabernet. Cabernet.
So one thing is to take a drink and then eat a bite of chocolate and then have another drink.
It says toast to love and affection.
Wow.
Can't get any more romantic than that.
Very unique to this winery. They actually have a drink that they give you that I have. They gave us two different ones because you can do this recipe with either a cab or a Merlot. And the recipe is 2 ounces of the wine and then a lime wedge and then 5 ounces of ginger ale. So they gave that in the free tasting as well.
Yep, it's called the red ginger.
Cheers. It's very refreshing.
Yeah, great for a warm summer day.
Yeah. Now we'll try the Merlot. You try the cab. I think I like the Merlot better.
I like the cab better, so we're set.
Oh, we're a match made in heaven. I guess today he's not accusing me of trying to kill him, so.
Nope. Because we didn't do anything except drive today, so.
Yep. And I drove.
And I think she's driving tomorrow, too.
I'm gonna feed him some more wine before I get to drive tomorrow, I think.
I'm just gonna drive you.
A few other campers showed up last night. Just beautiful here. We had an absolutely wonderful stay at this Harvest Host last night, but now we're gonna head out. We already have the car hooked up, never unhooked it from last night, but I'm driving, so change of roles. I normally am outside and to make sure the slides and the jacks and everything go up. This time Joel's heading out and I'm pushing the buttons on the inside.
Won't go down the same old path again.
That one's good.
Been running out of air so long.
All right, slides are in and jacks are all up. Ready to go.
If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me.
Turn right on East Kellogg Road.
Now God's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive.
All right, so we made it way past where we thought we were gonna stop. We had only planned a 4-hour drive for today and I ended up driving 7.5 hours. Why? Because our phones kept going off and saying that we were in a high wind warning all for tomorrow. So I ended up pushing through and we made it all the way to Reno, Nevada. Super excited that we got in a night early. So now we're gonna rest up because I'm exhausted. Joel's exhausted. It's time to eat. That was a long drive day. But this is where we're gonna leave you as we're exhausted. And we'll be showing you around Reno, Nevada and all the fun that we have here. So looking forward to spending some family time. And right now we're gonna roll those bloopers because you know we always have them.
Here's where you'll be. Wah, 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 wah. Wait where you're going to be talking so you can check out or you'll be in the camera.
Oh, you're cute.
Just to pay attention to, but you definitely be. I can't even get that out. Wow, that's terrible. I even know what I want to say.
So good, so good, so good, so good. Thanks for coming along on our journey to be chasing RV sunshine. Remember, life is about moments and not things, and you can always create your own sunshine and can find us chasing it in our RV. We'll see you on the next video.